What's up guys, David here and welcome to the FitPro Daily. Okay, so this week's guest speaker is somebody that's really going to help you get started with getting in the media. It's Lianne Sykes from Get in the Media. Lianne Sykes also owns a home fitness business, and she's the lady that's twice managed to get my fitness business, DKnine Fitness, into the press. Anyway, I don't really want to talk too much because she's going to introduce herself and what she does, but this is one that you want to listen to all the way to the end, and she has some real golden nuggets on, first of all, how to get in the press, how to find people to help you get into press, and what type of content the people in the press are actually looking for to make sure that you get in the press. Anyway, let's dive straight into the interview. Good evening, guys. Welcome to this very special live interview. So if you don't know who Lianne is, Lianne owns Get in the Media. Lianne is also a co-owner of Lean Body Project, or hashtag LBP, an under 30s-ish gym based in Stockport, basically helping ladies get bikini ready. She also helps celebrities get in the media and stay in the media and be successful in the media. So because of everything she literally does, I thought she's like one of the best people to get into the portal to really help you get started with getting in the media. So as usual, I will ask Lianne the odd question. She will give us as much value on as content as possible. Then at the end of the interview, we will let you all in to ask questions and see how she can potentially help you get in the media. So Lianne, welcome.
Hi everybody. Thank you for having me on.
Good. So tell me a little bit more. How did you get started with getting in the media then?
So getting in the media is fairly simple, as long as you know how to do it and how to work your way through getting there. I suppose the best thing to do is for me just to give you a bit of a background on what I did and how I did it. So like everybody in the group, with a fitness background, myself and Damien, my other half, he's personal trainer, and together we've created the brand, the Lean Body Project. So we've been developing it over the last 8 to 10 years. We started with boot camps, outdoor boot camps. We grew the business then online. We took it from online back into the gym, and from there just developed everything that we did. Now, we have always gone with the premise of building a really great brand that stands out, that people know exactly what it is, who they are, and what our message is. Through that, we've created a tribe, we've built a network, and we've built an audience of our ideal clients. Now, we used to train up to 45 to 50-year-olds, from 20 to 50-year-olds, but we brought that age group down over the last 3 years since we've gone more solely focused in our premises of our own. We train predominantly 25 to 35-year-old women, and the women that we train are busy women, and some of them they're a mixture of busy professionals or busy mums. So with that, we developed this great brand. Damien was going out speaking. He wrote a book and it went to #1 on Amazon, and we were becoming really influential in our area. But the one thing that I couldn't do was really get us in the press. I couldn't figure out the way of how to contact journalists or getting somebody to write about us. It kind of fell on deaf ears. And I was like, we're good. Damien's really good. He knows a lot and we're getting great results. But how do we get our message out there, and how do we reach more people? So what I did is I started learning about it. I actually went working with a friend of mine who has a PR agency. I went working in there and I learned more about how to get into the media from there. I developed a network of journalists. I developed a network of celebrities and influencers, and just basically wormed my way in and winged it pretty much half the time. But because of that, what I did is I learned how to get in the media through knowing what the media wanted. So it isn't just a case of saying, hey, I'm really good. It's a case of saying, hey, I'm good because of X, Y, and Z. So you need to know that finishing piece and that headline, if you will, before you've even contacted the journalist. So off the back of that, when we first moved into our own premises, which we did 3 years ago, within 6 months, we were looking to expand upstairs onto the floor above. Now, I knew that was a press story for our local area because it was a business that was brand new on paper in a new premises, and already we're looking at signs of expansion. So I knew that that would be something that the local journalists would want to write about, because it's shouting out positivity about a new business that's moved to the town centre, and the local council wanted town centres to increase in leisure activity. So I knew all about this, and I knew that that was my way in. So we did. I contacted a local journalist and we got that feature. Then I won Businesswoman of the Year. The gym won Health and Fitness Facility of the Year. So we won 2 awards in a 12-month period. And again, that was a positive news story. So I contacted the local press and got that wrote about. I then wanted to take it a bit of a step further, and rather than writing about us, I wanted to feature what it is that we could do and the results that we could do. So I started developing a variety of different press stories and just kind of seeing which one worked. One of the ones that worked was when we collectively, as a group of our members, we helped them shed over 1,000 stone. So again, that was another milestone. So we did it as a collective group, helping busy women in Stockport shed 1,000 stone. That was another press story. And then finally, one of our ones that went viral was when we helped one of our clients, Vicky, shed 5.5 stone. Now, she wasn't just any woman. She was a busy mum of 2 that baked cakes for a living. So the minute she walked through the door, I was like, this is a headline. Busy mum of 2 who bakes cakes for a living loses 5.5 stone. And that was the story. And that was the story that went viral. It went national, Daily Mail, Sun. She's been in various magazines. We're still getting phone calls now about the story that wants to get featured all the time. And it's constantly being linked back to us.
Wow. What to take in there. So you mentioned that the headline is usually the key thing. You don't want to tell the world how great you are. It's having a headline that makes you stand out. Is that right?
Yeah, so it's when you're thinking about how you want to be in the press, think about, first of all, what would that headline be? So the difference between mum loses 5 stone and busy mum of 2 who bakes cakes for a living loses 5 stone. There's 2 completely different stories. Anybody can lose 5 stone if they try hard enough. But the fact is that it's a bit of a contradiction that one of the excuses is mums eating their kids' food. And not only that, she has a job which, in normal sense of the scenario, would prevent somebody from losing weight as easily because they're constantly eating cakes, or they're around cakes, or they're around something that's going to continue to put weight on. So it's having that obstacle. So you've got to think about, if you're going to be writing about something or getting a message across there, think about that full journey and think about how you're taking that story from A to B, from a rags to riches, from a deathbed to a miracle.
Okay, so you have your headlines. So let's say you have, like you say, the lady that bakes cakes that's lost all this weight. You can't go in, I'm guessing, making out like you are the big I am. You are this amazing person. Is there a certain level of self-promotion that you're allowed to go in with, or you literally only scatter your name throughout the article a little bit, but it's mainly focused on that result?
Yeah, so the way that you want to do it is it's not about having the full story either. It's having a catch to what somebody wants to write about. So, for example, I've been featured in Mancunian Matters this week because somebody got in touch with me for me to provide an expert quote on, as an owner of a gym, of how people's views on gyms may potentially change during this lockdown. So I've been featured in that this week, and I've been speaking to him about future pieces that we're doing. So I've not given him a full story, but I've just let him know that something that we're doing this month is we're raising money for charity by getting all of our clients to work together and all compete in a 10K over the weekend of the 23rd and 24th of May. So I've just given him that idea, to which he's like, great, I love that idea, leave that with me and let me get something to work on it.
Okay, so who writes these articles then? Do you go to a journalist with an article, or do you go with the headline and a few key bullet points and then they research and kind of write it for you?
Yeah, it's a mixture of both, really, because I've got experience in writing press releases. It depends who I'm going to. If I'm going to certain journalists, I can actually write a press release prior to going to them because I know what they want and I can send it to them. Some journalists just literally want an idea and then they'll run away with it.
Okay. Expert quotes, what does that mean?
So an expert quote is, if you have been featured in the media before, you can be called upon to be an expert and give a quote that offers substance to somebody else's story. So for example, the story could be about how gyms could potentially change during lockdown, because everybody with a fitness premises has moved their business online and offering online Zoom workouts, etc. So this particular piece was talking about how we felt as a gym owner, and how a personal trainer, somebody different, felt, and how the writer of a certain book felt about how gyms could potentially change. So we all gave our expert opinion and how we felt about it.
Okay, so let's say the post has already been published and you're reading it in the local newspaper or magazine, and then you want to be like an expert quote and have your kind of thoughts on that piece. Would they then do a second piece on it, or it's literally they come to you before they write it and then they publish it with those people?
You need to get in before they publish it. Once it's published, they don't necessarily change it.
Okay.
It's done. So it's knowing how to be in that position to be called upon, and it's knowing about getting your name out there and having the content available to do that.
Yeah. We'll go to the content in a minute, because that's an interesting one I'm going to come up with. But you keep saying you know these journalists. How do we find these journalists?
There's a number of different ways, really, but the key is to build a relationship. It's again the classic thing about when you first have somebody that applies for your program. It's very rare that they might just, from the first time ever seeing anything, come on and then just pay straight away and just dive straight in. You have to nurture them, and it's the same with anything, in particular with journalists. You have to nurture that relationship. It's about your approach and how you're going to them, but you can find them. Classic one is going on Twitter, searching hashtag journo requests. A lot of journalists will put any requests on there that if they're writing a piece and they need a quote, or they need a bit of substance that goes in it, or some stories to share, they'll be searching for particular people to write about. So that's one thing that you can do. It is time consuming. Because I have a network, I don't have to necessarily do that. But if you're just starting out, then that is something that you can certainly do. And you can have a look through Twitter and just see what kind of requests are coming out. Tweet them, send them a message, or they might put their email on there for you to email them. Just send them an email or send them a tweet about how you can help with that particular story. And then just see whether that relationship can get off the ground.
And that hashtag was?
Hashtag journo requests.
Perfect. Okay, next. So you're talking about finding these people. So journal requests was one way of doing it. So let's say you open up the newspaper. Obviously, in the first page or second page of the newspaper, it usually says who the editors are of certain things. Or if you go to a certain story, it says who the editor is. Is it a case of almost like finding that person on LinkedIn, trying to connect and start a message that way? Or is it, is that a way of doing it?
Yeah, it's a way of doing it, but everybody is different. Not every journalist wants to be contacted on Twitter. Not every journalist wants to be contacted on LinkedIn. Not every journalist wants to receive an email from somebody that they don't know and it fills up their junk. Put it this way, there's thousands upon thousands of different publications, even print and online, and there are thousands of freelance journalists. So I know that there's one particular freelance journalist that I work with. She was one of the editors from The Guardian. She also writes for the BBC, but she is freelance now. She gets about 2,000 emails a day. So if you think, I thought I got a lot, but she gets 2,000. So if you think, if you're sending a blanket email out to somebody, or even a DM, or think about, if you're somebody who particularly has a lot of notifications, a lot of messages that come through on social media, think about how you kind of manage to do that. Well, imagine you getting 2,000 requests every single day from a variety of people that you may not have even spoken to before. What's going to happen? Inevitably, it's just a needle in a haystack. You're going to probably most likely get overlooked. So you have to find out a way of standing out and capturing their attention.
Okay. So let's say I'm starting out. I've got literally just started my own fitness business. How do I get in the media with zero results? With zero kind of transformation results or client results? Literally, if I have no results, I've literally just started out, how could I potentially get in the media from there?
So instead of focusing on what results you can help your clients get, think about you and your own personal story. So where have you come from? How did you develop your fitness business? For starters, what is your story? Who are you? What is your brand? Have you overcome an obstacle, a huge obstacle, to get to where you are right now? Have you dropped out of university, for example, to pursue a career in fitness because you didn't want to be a lawyer, for example? So think just everybody's got a story to tell, and everybody's got a reason why they're doing what they're doing right now. It could be that you were working in a call center and all you were seeing was people just stuffing their faces with crisps and chocolate and fizzy drinks all day, not moving because they're sat stationary, and you were just seeing people getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that inspired you to make a difference. And now what you do, your target audience of people that work in call centers, that work shifts. So you've developed your business model around that. You've got a USP which relates to your story. How does that link in together, and what kind of story can you tell? You might be somebody who is obese yourself and you've lost a load of weight and become shredded. And that's a motivational story. Could you write about that? It might be that you've overcome injury. You might have had a really severe injury that almost left you paralyzed or unable to walk, or anything like that, so that you have turned your life around and you are now not only a personal trainer, but you're running a successful fitness business to help other people overcome these things. So think about your story and where you've come from.
Okay, so before we open this question, the questions up now to the people of the portal, is there anything else you kind of want to just say to everybody else that's watching us on the podcast or on the YouTube channel before we obviously open the questions up to the people of the portal?
Yeah, just think about, well, one, just always think about your story. So no matter how boring you think your story is, there's always something that can be made out of it. Think about, even just jot down your rags to riches tale. There's always a story in there. You know, when we was growing our business, we got kicked out of one premises because they were just jealous of us, basically, and they wanted to ruin our business, and there was shady tactics going on. I mean, that was a story, but it's something that you may not be able to write in the press, but there's stuff that you have done that makes you stronger. So think about anything that goes on there. Think about the results that you're getting for your clients. I mean, straight away, the press love a 5-stone weight loss story or more. So if you help clients achieve that kind of weight loss, you know, have a banker on that. If you've got a client coming to you that needs to lose 5 stone, shelve them for a potential future weight loss story that you can get the press involved with. Always be looking for things that you can create stories with, and have a look at the publications that you read a lot or that your clients read a lot. What kind of stories are happening in there? Have you got clients that are sharing those stories? Have they had terrible skin, for example? You know, by you helping them change up their nutrition, has that improved their acne or their poor skin? Because that's another transformational story. It may not just be about the weight loss, but it can be about anything to do with their feeling better, looking better, being more confident. There's always a story to be told, whether that's you, whether that's your clients, and all the different successes that you can do. Are you putting yourself up for awards? Can you get that in your local press to shout out about an award that you've won? Are you looking to expand? Everything that you're doing, it can be turned into a press story. You just need to know how to kind of maximize that potential.
Perfect. Spot on. Cheers, Lianne.
So that was the interview, and Lianne proper went into some serious depth in some of those topics, okay? It's probably an interview that you want to watch back or listen to over and over again, because some of the stuff she went into was a little bit in detail, but some of the topics and some of the tips that to be able to find people, that simple hashtag to be able to find possible requests, the type of topics that you could write about, even if you have no clients or no past results, there's always a headline, there's always a topic, there's always a story that you can write or read about. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for today, okay? Go back, listen through it all over again, write down, take some notes, and I will see you all tomorrow. Cheers. Thanks for watching. Now come join us inside our free Facebook group, where on a daily basis we share tons of content to help you generate leads for your fitness business.